So timestamps exist as always if you just want to skip forward. Otherwise, I mean, as always, we'll be going through the history because we have a minute left before the end. And yeah, that's how this video is going to go. And that's how it's always gone, 56 seconds. But yeah, just to show the runner history here and the win rate. Bit higher than I expected. Obviously, as a gold chip enjoyer, it's going to be a little easier, but still. I'll go through the full-on kind of the rundown as we're sitting here for the next half minute. But yeah, straightaway spurt, and then hope for end velocity. It's not the best, but it's all I had. And then I think this is just a long, yeah, it was a long stamina, 9 stamina inherit. So that's that. As for Simile Rudolph, this one was really messed up. Again, if you saw Gold Chip before, Gold Chip did have a Rico Team Serious setup as opposed to Simile Rudolph here, who has a Super Creek setup instead, and then not a lot of skills because I don't think, yeah, 29 races is not a lot with these skills I wanted to buy. And then last but not least is Biwa Hayahide. She has more skills because I went through the race strat, so Rico Team Serious here, and then just grabbed a bunch, as many as I can. Although with Gold Chip and Biwa Hayahide, they both have only one rare gold recovery skill, which is not enough. So if they don't proc their gold recovery skills, there is very little chance they make it to top 3, probably even top 6, depending on the grade. But let's get into this and take a quick look at our opposition, and then we will close out this video, because not really much else to say here. Might as well just go through this again. I think we're going to be doing Champions Meeting for a bit longer until, well, anything else comes out, really. So if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Otherwise, I see front runners, and I see a gold chip. So without further ado, this is going to be an interesting lobby. It's not the worst lobby I've ever run into personally this far, but yeah, it is going to be interesting to look at. So without further ado, we'll take a look at our Kita-san Black. We'll take a look at any end closes. I think there's a Pace Xmas Ogre here. And, yeah, A-Long, the stamina is a little... You have 2 gold recoveries then, right? Yeah, you do. So if Kita-san Black procs both of those, she can definitely survive. Because the fight for her fronts here is going to result in weird things happening to stamina. As for Naruto Taishin here, yeah, that stamina looks a little, but again, anything can happen. Bourbon, again, same thing. You really want 1800 or 1200, 600 in my opinion, and then you need a gold recovery skill, and it must proc. If it does not proc, anything that you have, inherited recoveries, regular recoveries, even if you have 3 white recovery skills, boy oh boy are you going to have some problems. Although in a case like this where you have 1100 stamina, 550 guts, if you proc both recovery skills, you will do a lot better most of the time, especially when the rest of the lobby doesn't proc their stamina recoveries, from what I've seen at least. 2 gold recoveries because that's just Christmas Ogre, and yeah, Christmas Ogre. I can definitely see that working out. It looks a little rough. You really, really wanted the stamina regardless. She can... Anything less than 200, then you would normally put into an Musume, and I promise you the recovery was not going to last here. So, it's going to be a stamina battle. This is going to be a huge stamina battle. So, let's find out what happens. Again, keeping in mind that my gold chip must proc her... She must proc Go Home Specialist around the 800 meter mark, 1000 meter mark. Biwa must proc, and Biwa also has trouble in this 3 front, 3 pace lobby, so she has a very high chance of falling to 5th, and if she does, she's not going to win because she really wants her unique to proc. And then Simile Rudolph is going to be the big anchor. She has safety in her. She has some safety, although she's missing some stamina too. So either way, it's anyone's game in this lobby. So, as we get this started, let's see what happens. But yeah, this is going to be a stamina race. This is going to be a stamina race because we're all missing about... Not everyone... I think none of the rival trainers have 1200 stamina. It's not bad, especially for Xmas Ogre, but I promise you this is going to be a stamina race regardless. 3200 is... I just expect that to be the case. Even 3000, you might see some problems just because rushed happens. Also, if rushed happens to anyone here, game is over. There's Common Collected, so Simile Rudolph has a chance to survive. Again, we haven't reached the mark in which Go Home Specialist will proc. Operation Cacao also giving some recovery, so that is some, but it's not the greatest. You really want the 2 gold recovery skill, so we'll see how that pans out for both Valentine's Bourbons, because again, we're looking for anyone procking a gold recovery. Literally, that's what we're looking for. So, hope 600 wits last. We're looking at Christmas Ogre as well. There's Go Home Specialist for my gold chip, so that's all I needed unless we get rushed. And we're going to look at any downhill procs, because this is, yeah, 3 front runners here, 2 all three of them fighting together is going to put a lot of distance. So we're going to look at the mid-race mark to see where the end closers will creep up from. As for Bio Haihide, she is not proccing her unique because she's in 6th, so even in 5th, she would have lost it. Naruto Taishin being boxed in for a moment by 2 gold chips, that's par for the course. I've straight away spurted into the back of Simply Rudolph more than a few times this CM, so let's see what happens. And when I say I mean my gold chip. Other gold chips happen to just swing out the outer, which doesn't look, which normally would be bad, but in this case, if you're rather that than straight away spurt right into the back of an Musume on the inner rail. So as both gold chips proc their uniques, and we get a swinging Maestro proc from everyone else, that gold chip is definitely surviving. If she gets the first spurt, she might actually win this race, but we'll see. Because we're looking for anyone to sneak up forward, and that's my gold chip is sneaking up a little farther forward, but it's really here on the final leg that we'll see. So looking for any velocity procs at this point, and then looking for a straightaway spurt head-on, ignited spirit power for my Biwa, even though she's a little bit behind. There's head-on, there's straightaway spurt, so there is Simply Rudolph trying to push forward, but the 3 front runners are way ahead. That acceleration skill will help out immensely though, but as I just mentioned earlier, we might have had some stamina problems, so my gold chip is struggling to reach the front here, as Simply Rudolph also kind of falls behind because, hey, what's happening? But, well, she's trying to be overtaken, that's why Arrow's Whistle Shadow Disperse proc here. But aside from that, if we don't get anything else happen, I didn't check to see if a Festive Miracle proc, but I told you already that Christmas Ogre was high likelihood to survive and therefore burst the last part of the race. Otherwise, at this point, all the end closes are way too far behind. Simply Rudolph does not have enough. Even though she has long S, it's not going to be enough to make up for the acceleration that this Christmas Ogre is putting out. So without further ado, I'll take a second, but we'll see what actually happens here. That looked like a second. I'm going to say second? No, it was Gold Chip who was 4th. Never mind, I didn't take second, or I'll just take 3rd, I guess. So without further ado, oh man. Yeah, that was a thing. So let's see what happened here. Yeah, just a lot of front distance making into a pace Ogre cap. So this was a blowout, by the way. All same trainer. If one trainer takes 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, I consider that a blowout. So without further ado, and then yeah, Biwa not. I don't think Biwa even procced a gold recovery perk, so that was really not good. But yeah, without further ado, not really much else to mention there. That was as to be expected. And I mean, if you get lucky, you get lucky. I'm not saying that the trainers did badly, but like I think that if I didn't watch it, the Festive Miracle proc likely could have carried over or just happened early, which would be very good. As a person who has Christmas Ogre cap of myself, I mean, I know what that feels like. So without further ado, not really much else to say. That's this CM, and we're moving into the medium 2000 question mark later on. But yeah, if you have anything to say, if you want to support me, if you don't want to support me, if you want to say anything at all, you know what to do. Otherwise, I'm not going to take much more of your time. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.